Social media has been filled with claims from influencers that Donald Trump has changed the tax code on child support after this tweet went viral. It says, Trump already Trumpin'. Trump's new child support law will be crazy. Basically, if you put someone on child support, you will no longer be able to claim the child on your taxes. Only the person who is paying the child support can. Child support or child tax credit. Well, here's reporting from Mediaite. A TikToker attracted 16 million views with his video asserting Trump passed a new law that whoever is paying the child support would get to declare those children on their taxes. So, say you're a single father, single mother, and you are not the one paying the child support, you will not get the tax return for your child. Another TikTok video posted on January 16th and watched over 12 million times claims, oh my God, Trump just tweeted, if you put your baby daddy on child support, that the baby daddy now gets all of the income tax. But they were all based on a false tweet. It wasn't even true. One of the TikTokers who started the rumor also made the video debunking it. Take a look.
That Trump child support stuff, I made it up. I made it up 6 days ago. It's going viral. My video alone has 12 million on TikTok and 1 million on Instagram. But I was just making it up in my car because I said, have y'all heard Trump just passed? I said, I'm paraphrasing, but I said, Trump just tweeted that if you pay child support, the baby daddy get income tax. What? And I said that, and all of a sudden it went wildfire. I'm saying duplicates of the video, people using my sound, some people just creating their own narrative of it. But it's fake. He didn't pass nothing. It's a good conversation that everybody having, but it's fake. So I just want y'all to know I'm the original person that did that. I was playing around. Thank y'all for the conversation, the dialogue.
That's unbelievable. All right. It's also important to remember that even if he did, the president could not make such a change by himself. An executive order would be null and void. Congressional approval is required, as verify.com detailed. Amending the tax code, which is what this would have been, requires Congress to pass a bill altering the Internal Revenue Code, or the IRC, the governing law of federal tax collection. That has not happened. It hasn't even been proposed. The IRS also specifies that child support payments are not considered taxable income and are non-deductible. As one mother wrote on TikTok, my child lives with me 95% of the time. According to IRS rules, I get to claim. And that's true, even if the child lived with her 55% of the time. Doesn't even need to be 95%. So this story makes me a little bit crazy, right? First of all, this guy made something up, fabricated it out of nowhere, right? There's already so much misinformation and disinformation on the internet. Why are you adding to that? Why are you knowingly contributing to that, not putting any kind of disclaimer, not indicating that this is fake? Secondly, the people who saw it, liked it, and spread it around, made supplemental videos to go with it. Why did you not do a simple Google search and see that this was not anywhere else in the news? It was only coming from this one guy. People really are not doing any kind of due diligence. And this is in the age where, dead internet theory is becoming less and less of a theory and more of a reality that we're not heading into, but we're already kind of there, right? We already had Mark Zuckerberg saying out loud that he's going to flood his platforms with more bots. So it looks like there's more engagement on these platforms than there actually is. We know that PR teams can use bots to, build a narrative in comment sections, right? And we know that so many people are not worried about it because they think that they're just going to identify a bot whenever they see one. They're not going to. These people are not going to be able to look at information and say, oh, that's fake, that's not real, that's a bot, that needs to be verified. They're not going to do the work, and they're not going to be able to just know what's real and what isn't. And this is a really good indication that, that it's just not going to happen. And we need to stop relying on that happening. I don't know what's going to happen in the future going forward as far as misinformation and disinformation goes, because it seems like with Trump back in office, there is a rolling back of all of whatever protections we did have as the people. But it's very distressing to see. Jackson, what do you make of this?
I think this really highlights that we have a major problem with our society and how people go about understanding how society functions and how it works and what happens. I mean, somebody can just make a video that goes viral, and because someone sees, oh, this video has 1 million views on it, so it must be some type of legitimate. And all of us are guilty of that in some degree. Maybe we're on YouTube trying to actually learn something. Maybe we're looking up engineering or architecture videos, and then we see something that has 140 views versus something that has 100,000 views. The one with 150 views could be way better, but we just make these snap decisions because we're social creatures. And over the last 15, 20 years that the digital technology, social media platforms have developed, people didn't really know where we were going with it. Everything expanded so quickly. I mean, like, I got my first cell phone at like 14 or 15 years old. And even at that time, the app market just wasn't really a thing yet. And then when it first came about, it was mostly just games on your phone. And now, you have Gen Z, Gen A, where they live their lives through a phone screen. So instead of playing outside with kids, play is how we learn how to overcome adversity, deal with anxiety, work with each other, things like that a lot of kids just aren't getting. And so now you get into high school and we got all these young kids with all these mental health problems, and so much of it goes back to, yeah, it really is that damn phone. And
Mhm.
so our education system, we got the right wing trying to dismantle the Department of Education. And then you have like schools in inner city communities where these communities initially were built for 30, 40, 50,000 people. Now you only got 3, 4,000 people living in them. So the school districts are completely unfunded because no one lives in these deserts anymore. So,
Mhm.
like, that compounded with just generations of people who don't really have an attention span and who don't know how to distinguish truth from fiction. I think that these issues can be addressed, but unfortunately, we have one, possibly two generations full of people who really aren't good at these basic things that
Yeah.
we once were better at.
Yeah.
So we have to address this through our education system. Obviously, we need a better economy, more access to jobs. There's so much that needs to be done, but it really is a massive problem that generations of people will just see something online and be like, oh, this must be true.
Yeah. And I don't know how old you are, but like the iPhone came
33.
out after I graduated from high school, and I'm so grateful for that because like your brain needs time to develop, and now exactly to what you're saying. I could talk about this for a long time, and I know we have to wrap this segment, but the literacy rates are going down in this country, right? The children cannot read at the same levels that we were brought up to read at, right? Their reading comprehension is down, not just with the children, but with the adults, right? So that on top of all the AI and the misinformation, the disinformation, we are in for a rough road ahead. And everybody just really needs to be vigilant and just really think twice about everything that you see and read on the internet.